Okay, this is Divine Disclosure Part 7. Yesterday I made a quick video on physics portals, parallel reality, and the Akron Police Department. Um, there was a lot more I wanted to say in that video. I wanted to talk a lot more about some of the things that I've witnessed as a result of physics. It's pretty much a multifaceted phenomenon, which means that it's limitless. Like the things that you could do with physics, there's no limit to. The worst, the one that gets on my nerves the most is portals. I told you, and I've made mention of in some other videos about them using me as a walking portal. That video that I uploaded yesterday was an example of how portals work. They were blowing smoke through my mouth. Like I had a blackened mouth and there was smoke. It just kept like, you'll have to see it. You'll have to see it. Recipes, when people follow recipes and they don't come out the same way, it's because the heat, the way that they're able to change the heat on the pan, so they can't change the way that it heats up, grating the way that it heats up, and also make sure that it only heats in certain spots. They've done that a lot. My food always comes out perfect, and they couldn't stand that, so they started making it, purposefully doing things so that they could capture those images of something not turning out like I wanted it to. Space, how space is perceived. If I were to slam a door, like when I slam the door at my place, it shakes the entire house. They were able to conceal the area with physics so that when I slammed the door, like it literally only seemed like it took place in that small area, and you couldn't hear it, you couldn't perceive it, you couldn't feel it outside of that. This is an example of physics. The friction, like although I walk evenly, they create a lot of friction when my foot hits the pavement and will mess up the shoe that way. That's 3 pair of shoes now that's been ruined in the last 3 weeks, and I don't have any. I don't have shoes. Bow. I often mention bow in some of my older videos, and how they were able to retract the bowel back up the intestines. That's physics. These are things that are being done with physics. They would allow the bowel to move down until I got the sensation, and when I sit on the toilet, they retract the bowel back up. It is beyond frustrating. Same goes with food. I told you, I walk hundreds of miles. Like I'm averaging about 1,100, between 1,000 and 1,100, 1,200 miles a year. 70% of my of what I intake is vegetables and brown rice. The other is meat, but it's just beef and chicken. And I feel that 30% is probably a stretch. So they have the image of me, based on habit, intake, and routine. Habit and routine are not the same. Based on those things, they have this image of me of what I'm supposed to look like, which is what they have a problem with. So this image is a reflection of not only of habit and intake, so shredded muscles and, a lean physique, but it's also a reflection of me with all of my DNA. So my appearance will eventually completely change. But more importantly, discuss gang stalking without recognizing that it's a spiritual battle. You can't recognize that this is a spiritual battle without recognizing eugenics. Imagine those, picture those that have been misplaced. The sorts of things that they're going to, the sort of truth that they're going to tell when they return. Eugenics is a problem. It always has been. And the only way that they've kept people from talking about it this far is by possessing them, which messed up balance. And they tried to create balance by pretty much adding more expressions, adding more gene expressions. So whereas back then, the devil was recognized as the devil. It looked like the devil. It appeared as the devil. Now it's more dressed up. So it has these qualities and these characteristics that it didn't have before. So it may be kind. It may come off as endearing. They may appear to be sincere. They're able to portray that they care. They're able to look at you in a way that makes you, that you would perceive as being present and engaged. So they're faking all these things. Now they have these expressions that they did not have before. What happens when those expressions that aren't theirs are removed? And it goes much further than characteristics. Gene expressions are in everything. They're in our appearance as well. So whereas now it looks good, it's not going to look the same. It sounds good, it's not going to sound the same. It talks good, it's not going to talk the same. The devil is going to start looking like the devil. And that's how they've been faking this idea, this image of balance. There is no balance. There is no balance. But more importantly, but I'm going to take it a step further. I want to talk about the things that the CIA taught me about, the things that I have to fight about every day. They're telling me that they're not going to allow African women to be on board because I'm taking met from them. So they're going to go back to being the lower vibrational frequency of African women. You can't consider it being taken from someone, something they're not meant to have, something that's not rightfully theirs, something that is not a birthright. So they're telling me, that they're pretty much going to shape. That's what these demons are for. Government agents are demons. Those are your demons. If you're wondering where your demons are coming from, those are your demons. That's your tempter. That's your tempter. So but what they're in place for is to shape the perceptions of others. So when they steal a soul, they shape and program it to have a particular perception. They do the same thing with all of them. So they're, threatening me with black women and saying we're not going to be on board with you because you're not going to allow us to look like we want to look, and you're not going to allow us to do this and do that, and we want to be able to act trifling in the lower tier. And we want to do some stuff in the higher tiers too that we don't even want people to know about. We put up a facade so it doesn't appear that takes place. So they the males will chime in and they'll say that I'm telling on Ra, the god that was recognized for being the sun god, when in fact he's the moon god. The moon is the planet he destroyed. And this is how, those that are that get real into the Egypt thing, that's always how they justify their claims, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that they mention to people, and they often stand up and they fight for these guys, these scientists, these genetic engineers. And the way that I deliver the information on these scientists, on these genetic engineers and their followers, it makes them look like fools. So they're mad about that. My argument, every single time this comes up, my argument is the same. I don't even have to discuss with people who are in violation whether or not how they're going to be, how they're going to look, how they're going to do anything. Because you know what? The fight is for the owners of the bodies to return. And when these people return, they're not going to care. I got some white friends, an Asian friend, or acquaintance. I'll call them all acquaintances. But when these people return, they're going to be rejoicing in my truth. They're going to be rejoicing in my truth. The only people moving against me are the devil. The only people that are mad is the devil, because they're doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. They looking like things they ain't got no business looking like. They sounding like things they ain't got no business sounding like. They're able to talk about things they ain't got no business talking about. They the only ones mad. When real people return, they're going to rejoice in the truth. They're not going to care about any of that other stuff. None of that matters to them. They're going to be too excited and too glad to see what it gets like to live under a rule where things are all good, where evil doesn't exist. Okay, I'm sitting on the porch. Okay, this is just a forewarning that the topics will change throughout this video. These are like clips from the edits in Divine Disclosure Part 7. It's a 14-hour movie, and they've been interfering with and abandoning the upload. So what I did was I just took a few of the clips out to upload as a preview until I can get the video uploaded. One thing that I am faced with is the potential of getting it deleted, because it's saved on the computer here. The work that I've done is saved on the computer here at the library. Normally they clean that up every Friday. It just so happens it made it about a week and a half. I originally did this work on the 17th, and it's the 26th now. So in the event that it should get deleted, I'm not going to do the work twice. It'll just get out once it gets out. But yeah, so the topics will change. Okay, a couple of caveats. I told you, the people that are housing the bodies are extraterrestrials. And their surveillance, those that are surveillancing them it's like a joint effort, you know what I'm saying, right? They tell them what to do and they carry out the attack. So that's that for the neighbors. The other caveat was drinking, like alcohol. I mentioned in this, not getting ingredients, not getting any of the caffeine, like from beverages that I have. A lot of you know people that can drink all day and never get drunk. You're feeding your demons. These motherfuckers stay high. They be high all day long. Messing people up. You're getting your demons drunk. You're getting your demons high. Like, they're getting the effects of what you do. Same goes for sex. I've mentioned that in older videos. But so yeah, for those people, that are drinking and you can't get the effect, that's why. That's why. And sometimes it's a matter of depleting the dollar. And other time it's just a matter of, not wanting you to get it. And whenever they decide to hit the kill switch, they do. These people that they claim overdose, for every attack, for every invisible attack that the government makes, there's a textbook answer. The textbook answer for an overdose. Wait, the government will poison you at a believable time. So you could be having some drinks, getting high, and they'll poison you. And people are going to place the textbook answer on it. They're going to say you overdosed. They murdered you. They're murdering the people you love. Okay, for the longest time.
That's horrible.
Okay, for the longest time, I'm trying to get away from making mention why these interactions are being forced, why these interactions are being orchestrated. They use these identities to have sex with me. So when I don't have any encounters, they don't have any way to lie and sabotage you and imply that they should be having sex with me. So for folks that I'm coming across, they'll show up posing as these people because they got their identities. They own their souls already.
Just to be clear, I'm talking about they're having sex with the clone in parallel reality. They use the identities of others to claim that, they know me in some way, shape, or form. I told you they removed the heart from my clone. So it now serves as a possessed individual in parallel reality, which means that it's something that can be programmed and under suggestion. So it does things that I don't do, like have sex with these estranged men.
So it's the most disgusting thing because, they have this with supercomputers and everything. Like, it's a very realistic sensation, so to speak. So when this stuff is taking place in these programs and they're all plugged up and getting they're jacking getting these thoughts, these feelings.
Remote neuromonitoring.
It could be the clone. I told you they have sex with my clone all the time. Or it could be parallel reality, like just a way to show up and sabotage me. Because it's like, again, I'll say it again in a different way later.
Okay, they're talking about...
I said that I hope it made sense, and if it didn't, I'll explain it again later. In a different way, of course. Okay, in this one, I'm talking about artificial intelligence and the use of digital clones. It's no different than me being in the green room, and then them having a digitized image of me.
I'm going to make one thing clear. The only people that are getting the real picture, knowing that X, Y, and Z was given, and this is, the real manifestation of it, are other agents. They're the only ones. Everything else is being used to program those. So when they create these little images and they create these little snippets and they forward them to other agents to use to program others, it's not till later that they come back and find out that, that's what took place. Like arresting, it's been going on for a long time now. Okay, this cardiac arrest thing, it's been going on for a long time, the entire 2.5 years. The threat of it, anyhow. Just recently, they got away from threatening me with it and started making like it was geared more towards implying it was taking place and happening to someone else. I told you back in February or March, they gave my aunt a heart attack. Just a couple of days ago, they confessed to me that they raped my mother while she was going into cardiac arrest. And they told me that they wanted me to know because I'm going to be able to see things that no one else is. Meaning that once I have access to their technology, they know that I'm going to be looking into everything. So that was their way of preparing me with what they saw the worst case scenario. I'm talking about, like, for the longest, they've been saying he's going to rape her while she's going into cardiac arrest, and she's going to be screaming at the top of her lungs. So just a couple nights ago, when they made this confession, they went into, like, pretty much started, you know how that goes, like, I'm like, this was introduced in, this was introduced in, so all those things were together and it's connected, and this is who you're talking about. So they said we were raping her while she went into cardiac arrest, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs, and she woke up asking for her daughter. And they drugged her so that she wouldn't remember. They drugged her so much that she began to hallucinate. I was actually supposed to be going to WLC, which is something else. When I arrived, I was actually supposed to be going to WLC, which is a warrior leadership training. When this took place, when the heart attack took place, it just so happens the school was canceled, and I ended up going home to Ohio. I was already on the road when I got the call that she was having a heart attack. This was her second one. This was the second one that the government gave her. And it was taking place again because they had a problem. The first trauma wasn't enough, I suppose, to get her spirit to leave the body. So when I got there, she was hallucinating. And her imposter did not recall anything, any of the events that took place. If a traumatic event as extreme as that took place, her imposter did not recall it. There was no memory of it, because I would have been the first person that she told. But I'm going to show you what I think about it. The same thing that I'm saying about Bill Gates goes for all these motherfucking government agents.
Bill Gates is going to live a long time. I'm going to make sure he lives a long time and has a slow death, extremely slow death.
Many days. This whole tent thing, they tied this into an attack that took place like the next street over. They murdered a guy. They showed them and murdered him. And they're claiming that pretty much it was the neighbor. Like, whoever was posing as a neighbor was so fucking pissed at me about this situation that he showed us somewhere else where they told him, you know, that I didn't view the two as the same and killed them. Yeah. Something I wanted to note about the last video is that they sometimes they make me sweaty, so I'll wait for like this feeling on me. There's other times where under a covering they'll make it like humidified, so it creates this sticky feeling. CRRC was added to this list, and I actually did that complaint recently. It took me 6 days, but it served as a distraction. Like I said, at these facilities, if you can, especially you don't have anything to do with any of them. But I needed to wash laundry there. Anyhow, they accessed my records without my consent. That's a simple question. Are they able to do it? And they kept kind of beating around it. You'll see videos of it later on. But they kept stating it in a way that it went around the question. They don't want to address the without consent part. So anyhow, that's been added to these complaints too. They told me that I'm going to have so much that the bottom line is I'm not getting a job unless I decide to work, add to my suffering and work for $10 an hour. So they told me to get over it. In this next clip, you're gonna see me talking to Regina. She's from a female that I know from high school, and she stayed in the neighborhood too. When we went outside and we started talking, they removed the video. Like I made sure I was recording, and they removed the video.
It's a shame that you can't see these examples. It shows you how absent these people are being and how they try to cover it up when you happen to run across them.
I stole where no one could see me, and they were trying to convince me that the cops were coming for me. He pulled in with Cyrus running and everything. I told you sometimes they allow them to hear me right away. Here's an example. Because he didn't come my way. Like normally he comes up and approaches me. So I'm standing off the road, he's on the sidewalk and did that. I think the middle finger, maybe not the middle finger part, but for sure the tongue. Like looked away and smiled to himself and kept walking. That chick that I told you about that confronted me about the dude, about her ex-dude, whether or not I had sex with him, this is her. Like, and you see they told her right away, so she leaned over and was looking. This is my old work. Send me error messages too, like they doing a number on this Mac right now. I guess I'm gonna have to come back here tomorrow and see how things went. That I've had to construct and put together in order to fight. In order to get things to move on the political end. Like I said, what's taking place in Washington is a reflection of my fight. But furthermore, consider the people that are misplaced. They're seeing all. They know what's taking place. They know the nights that I spend being attacked. Like everything. They see it all. So they're not going to come home and watch this stuff. This serves as humiliation for people that are already in the know.
Anyhow, there's so much good stuff in here. There's so much good stuff in here. This is a good reflection of the day-to-day activity, the day-to-day fight. Some examples of, the things that they've been doing to my body, because they're still attacking my body.
Okay, some cyber activity that's going on right now. Right now, they're discussing how they told the people here at the library that I've been walking around like no one's able to, I guess, have an encounter with me, and that I'm also walking around like no one has a way of attacking me since I recently withdrew from the last two services that I was using, both surrounding employment. Um, Something else they said that they told them that I said there wasn't nobody gonna keep me from using the green room. These are things that I never said, but these are suggestions and impressions that they have these imposters under. When I came in today, all of them were here. All of the aliens were here. That's rare. So they were saying that they pretty much put them all here today so that they could overhear what was taking place. But they said that they weren't able to allow me to feel like, that I wasn't being attacked and that nothing could stop me. I haven't been coming in here and having issues. I've been able to come in here, do what I need to do, get my video uploaded and go. But now for the last week and a half, ever since I discontinued services, it's been a problem. I can't get nothing done. This too serves as another distraction. The entire reason that I'm here today is to compose the two separate videos. One is on the murder that took place in the neighborhood, and the other one is on employment interference. This is all just a way to interrupt and keep me from getting anything done. Okay, and now they're locking me out of my email. That's something that they said they were going to do before I left home. That's temporary. I'm not even fucking about to entertain that. But I'm pissed off because, as you know, it's linked to my phone. The video just uploaded, not the 7-hour one. I mean, 14-hour one, but the update or the notification of the hold that was being put on Divine Disclosure Part 7 just uploaded, and that's only roughly 33 minutes long, and it's not showing on this end. Now, this is normally when they tear something up. I don't know. I think they think it's going to cause me to have some sort of encounter or interaction. There's nothing they can do about this. They can't get me into my email. And it's not a software issue. So why would I, you know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, on my way out, I'm going to make it a point because they're in the know. But I'm not about to go grab nobody and have them come back here and try to troubleshoot nothing. They can't do nothing that I can't do when it comes to this. This is the type of stupid shit they do to frustrate me. This is a waste of my time. But it's also a way they figure if I couldn't get anything done here, they just told me that they don't want me here. If I can't get nothing done, they figured I'd leave. I'm gonna sit here this entire fucking time. They said that I was gonna go viral at the library today. And I've explained this in other videos. When they use the term viral with me, it means that they're switching imposters out. Putting someone new under a new suggestion. Putting someone new under a new impression. Like, this is horrible shit.